yes, this part of Africa was colonized, but it was colonized because of our chiefs. Our chiefs are the ones who had the weakness because of selfishness and greed. They would divide our people, and we could not unite to defend ourselves. Otherwise, I'm waiting for some documents. The society itself, communities themselves are very strong communities here. And the quotations I'm waiting for, which I thought they had brought already, were by a man called Stanley, Henry Morton Stanley, who came through here, first of all in 1874, but the one I'm quoting is 1887, 1889, when he passed through here. When they bring me the quotations, I will read them to you, and I would want you to read them. Where are those documents? Huh? No, should have brought them before. So when Stanley came here and speak, Huntington speak, 1862, these were the first foreigners to come. The good thing is that they were writing. They were writing what they saw. And they were writing from the eyes of the foreigners. So you see that their judgment is not biased, because they were actually surprised by the level of organization which they found here. The first quotation which I will read for you when it comes was in Ituri area, where Stanley was surprised by, because he had gone through the Congo forest where there is no production, but when he came to Ituri, where we have our people there, same people like they are Banyoro, actually Banyoro speaking people, he found a very big agriculture. This was in 1887. So I was surprised. Large scale production. Then he later on in 1889, he came through the Ankole area, and he writes that he saw the best cattle in the world. He had not seen such nice cattle anywhere in the world. Now, then he continues up to Mwanza, and he also quotes what he saw there. But the weakness which we had was the governance, the chiefs, who were dividing our people. And later on, the churches also came and contributed to the division during the colonial times. By the time we come in the 1960s, this is what we confronted. And this is how we evolved the four principles: patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy. Now, with these, we cannot fail if we take these. And you have already seen what has happened. You can see the economy. They can show you some of the pictures, the livestock. Those are the factories. Show the pictures of the Those are the cows. That's not foreign aid from anybody. Those are the ancient cattle of your people. Are you tired with showing economy? Umechoka? Idiots. That's the Kampala Industrial Park. That is what? Coffee or what? Ah, that's coffee. Ah, Byenyanja. Nairo patch. Nairo patch. This is not any other patch. Nairo. Byenyanja byaffe bya wano. So therefore, those are the bananas. You can see them. Those are the bananas, chicken, so I have got now the quotations. Quotation number 1 is in volume 1, page 298 of volume 1. Is it volume 1 or volume 2? I don't know. I would want to be sure. It says on page 98, 298, a march of an hour and a half in the afternoon, apparently not far from the river, brought us to the populous district of the Babusese. The banana plantations were very extensive, reminding me of Uganda, and their shades covered a multitude of huts. Fields of millet and sesame, plots of sweet potatoes occupied the outskirts of these plantations, and there was ample evidence round about that the land was thickly peopled and industrially cultivated. This is 1889. 1887, this one here. A white man who has never been to this part of the world finds this big production. Now the second quote, this is now on page 268. I don't know whether they are not mixing them up. They could be mixing them up, the pages. It says, crossing a narrow neck of land, descended into the basin of the Ruizi. the Ruizawa River, the one in Mbarara. By degrees, the misty atmosphere of this region was clearing, and we could now see about 5 miles distance. And the contour of the pastoral plateau of Ankori, he writes it as Ankori. It was not by any means at its best. I think it was a dry season. It was well into the drought season. This is Old English. The dry season had commenced 2 months previously. Hilly range, steep cone, hammock and plain were clothed with grass ripe for fire. The herds were numerous and all as fat as prize cattle. As prize cattle, the cows that can win prizes in Europe. In the valley, we had passed over 4,000 cattle of the long-horned species. The basin of the Rizi, which we were now in, and which was heart of Ankori, possessed scores of the finest herds of cattle I had never seen before. This is a man. This is now 1889, because he had been around for 2 years. 1887 he was in the other Bunya. Now this was 1889. He was now going to the coast. So we are a community. This is now this is now a local farmer somewhere. A local farmer is escorted by a comrade. So therefore, we are a society of wealth creators. But some of our people who get carried away by linking up with foreign interests, they forget our strength. All those things you saw here, these are all ours. Nothing foreign, nothing from anybody. So for somebody to come and say, unless you follow what I'm telling you, I will not, it's really not serious. The weaknesses we had were governance. It was our leaders who were dividing us. And that's how the NRM came and opposed those divisions. But otherwise, our people are the same. And this one now leads me to another quote. This is now on page 422, in second volume. I think the other quotation were also from the second volume, because the first volume, I think, was talking about something different. By this time, Stanley was now in Tanzania, near Mwanza. They had gone through Ankore, through Bunyo, through Toro, through Karagwe. He was now near Mwanza. By a gradual rise from Amranda is a misspelling, it must be Rwamranda or something like that, southward, we escape after a few miles out of the unlovely plains to older land producing a better quality of timber. Before we were 100 feet above the lake, a visible improvement has taken place. The acacia had disappeared, and the miombo, a tree whose bark is useful for native cloth and for boxes, and which might be adapted for canoes, flourished everywhere. At Bwanga, the next village, the language of the Wahuma, which we had had continually since leaving the Albert Nyanza. Albert Nyanza is the Bunya area side of Congo, ceases, and the Unyamwezi interpreters had now to be employed, which fact the skeptical Zanzibaris hailed as being evidence that we were approaching Pwani, the coast. So you can see this man, this foreigner, could see that from the Congo forest up to Mwanza, for him he thought they were speaking one dialect, because the interpreters they were using we understood. If you speak in Runyoro, they understand. If you speak in Nyankwere, they understand. If you speak Runyambo of Tanzania, they understand. So for him, he thought it was one language called Wahuma language. Because the people are the same. Because if you can understand somebody's way of speaking, then he is part of you. You are one people. But because of the greed of some of the operators, including the chiefs, that's how they were dividing people. And that's where the weakness was. And up to now, that's still the weakness. If you divide yourselves, then you become weak. But otherwise, if you don't divide ourselves, we are very, very strong. There's nothing that we cannot do. When these people came here, the first time, Huntington Speak and Stanley, we only lacked two things. First of all, more knowledge of science and so on. But secondly, governance being divided by the chiefs. The moment you solve that, there's nothing that can defeat us. So therefore, for now, those who put pressure on us, they're wasting their time. And we don't have to worry ourselves about that. What we should concentrate on is to fight corruption among ourselves. These are the real problems, not foreign pressure, because that one has no meaning. But fight corruption among ourselves. Protect our environment. Because when we damage our swamps and our lakes and the forests, this is what can hurt us. Because it affects our ability to produce, our rain system and so on. Then the other issue that we need to concentrate on is regional integration. Because we need to have a bigger market, as you have seen, the market of East Africa, the market of the whole of Africa is very crucial. Then internationally, we can trade with those people who respect us. So I thought I should, in addition to talking about ADF, I should also mention this by saying really three things. Number one, you people, you belong to a people who are great wealth creators. What proof do I have? The proof I have is that indigenously, without learning from anybody, we had a most advanced agriculture, which was witnessed by the foreigners who came here for the first time. What we lacked was more knowledge. And with more knowledge, there's nothing that can stop us. But secondly, our only weakness was bad governance, bad politics, bad ideology. A strong community, but governed with wrong principles. The moment you solve that, you are very strong and unbeatable. Therefore, let's concentrate on our own issues: corruption, protect the environment, work with other Africans on regional integration. Nothing will beat us. We shall be able